Okay, welcome to part 2 of this lab. So in earlier on we are doing this MQTT, hacking MQTT, right? Part 1, right? So we're going to the part 2 of today's lab, which is actually the actual term is the part 3 lah. Okay, so we're going to the part 3 portion, which is we're going to add username and password authentication actually involved inside here. So the assume is you have your lab sheet, okay, and you started all the machines, right? And then of course your mobile extern. Let's go in. Okay, you just start all the VM, which is Kali and all the 3 machines. Okay, let's just go into this all 3 of them. Okay, then log in first. 11 doesn't want to start. Okay, never mind. Let's log into here first. Okay, no, cancel. Clear screen. There's a subscriber. There's the publisher. Okay, so that's good. Let's clear screen. So I full already. Let's go back to 11. Let's try again. Okay, so it's there. Okay, let's shift it to the front. This is the broker. Okay, good. So we're in, right? Clear. So the part 1, we want to give the name lah, so that's very difficult. So I actually put in onto the announcement. There are some steps that is easy to follow. So let's do this part so that it's easier for us to broker, subscriber, as subscriber. Okay, and then last but not least, the publisher. PUB publisher. Okay, enter. Okay, so next, we're going to mainly go back to a broker first. So first of all, nothing inside there. So we just go and create a password first, password file first. So this is the password file. This is how you create. You do this echo run. Okay, password file. Okay, next we want to let's take a look inside. So it's just simple whatever we just put in, right? User, my pass user. Over here is the username, password is the password. So next thing is we want to turn the password into hash. So we're going to run this, paste. Okay, and then we run the so hash. Okay, so this is good. Okay, this is very good. Next, we're going to create this particular file called mosquito simple configuration. Okay, we're going to use our own configuration file. Okay, and then let's add this portion into it, right? Let's try to do it again. Copy and paste. Okay, good. Goes in. Then Control O, Control X to escape, to finish. Okay. There's already a background mosquito running, so we want to delete, because once you install, you will run in the background. You know, the first part of the lab. So then we now go in and take a look. Okay, so that's the default one. So we want to kill the process, right? So 690, that's the existing one. So we want to stop that first before we actually run it, because remember earlier one we are using it, right? We're using this. That's the default one. So sudo kill 690. Okay, we delete away. So just double check net stat minus tulmp. Okay, do you see any 1883? No, here, no. Okay, it's done, right? So we are very confident that it's been removed. Okay, so then we're going to run this particular command to make sure that it's working, to start off the new process with our new configuration file. The chance of this thing going to be failing is very high, because this is a quirks of this machine. So you try to run it, and they tell you unable to write into PID files. Okay, so never mind, it's okay. Next, Control C, you get out of the thing, you run all these command. Next, this step 1, Okay, change the rights. Step 2, okay, change the rights. All these are changing the rights. Step 3, this is the file that we cannot write to lah. But by changing these two, suddenly this thing will disappear. But never mind, you just run this thing so that it make it disappear, totally disappear. You cannot access all this file no longer there. Then we come back to just now that command and run it again. There goes. And now we check next steps. Okay, net stat minus tulmp, and ta-da, there goes, and then it runs. Okay, so that part, this is the part to clear the front part, so that end of the day you have to run this step, so that end of the day it really can properly kickstart this whole entire process. So next, let's go to the subscriber. Clear screen first. Subscriber, we go back to the original notes here, right? And then let's try to connect with without, let's say without username. Let's try to connect without username first and see whether it works. Will it give an error message? So let's do this. Copy, paste. This without username and password. Aha, you see, it tells you unauthorized. You don't have a proper username and password. Okay, so next, what we're going to do, we're going to connect using a proper one that have proper username and password. Okay, with subscription. Where is it? That's here. This is the one. So we just copy this thing. Copy, paste. Okay, okay. So put in the proper username, password, and then the correct IP address. 192.168.56.11. Make sure that this part is correct. So we need to, right, because it's always not correct. So the spacing, everything, you need to make sure it's correct. Okay, then press enter. Yes, we are in. Right? We saw the differences, right? One is not allowed, one is allowed. So next thing is let's try to publish without proper username and password, which is this, right? So let's copy this part. Okay, this is without username and password, right? You can use anyone that don't have username and password to try it out. So we are the publisher. Let's try without proper username and password. Sorry, a bit ding dong lah, because the lab sheet is not nicely done lah. So yeah, I sequence it in such a way that for you by this recording it is properly done. Okay, let's try. Can we do it? See, error, right? Don't have username and password, cannot log in. That's the same thing. Because if you follow this thing, it doesn't work 100%. But then if you follow my sequence, it will work. Because at the end of the day, you need to have a subscriber, whatever, and then the configuration, everything need to be correct. Now we log in with a proper username and password. Right, this one. Copy. Right, paste. Okay. Make sure that the thing is sequenced nicely. They see there's a space, double space. So always make sure that this is correct first. Then the IP address need to be correct. Okay. Then I press enter. See? Cool, it went through. And then the subscriber received. Yes, very, very good. Okay, so this is this part. So then after that, is this good enough? Let's try out. Then we have to go to Kali now. Go to Kali. Right? Can Kali hack through this thing? Right? Now you know username, no password, cannot log in. But then Kali. So what could Kali do? If I'm Kali, so I would go and run this. First of all, I need to turn myself to root first. So sudo su, turn myself into root. Okay, I'm root now. Next thing, I want to run this particular line, paste. Right, make sure that everything is correct. Change the IP address. remember to change the Ethernet address because our case is 1. So we need to change this to 1, Ethernet 1. Okay, 1. Then we go back to now dumb simple, right? Exactly the same. Then we press spacebar. We go to publisher and publish something similar like just now, but then we might do some changes, which is this. Okay, paste. Okay, then change the IP address. Make sure that the spacing is correct. That the spacing here is not correct also. Okay, this is the correct one. There always one additional spacing somewhere, so you need to double check. Okay, and then last but not least, this is perfect. Send, can receive. There, you can see Kali received this. Okay, so no encryption is very bad, right? Plain text is very bad. So okay, then after that we click here, we click quick. Okay, and then after that what do? We go to Wireshark dump underscore simple.pcap. Press. Okay, we take a look. It should run out. Give me some time to run. Is it running? Yeah, it's running. Okay, then I MQTT enter. So earlier on we can see the publish message somewhere here, which you can see if I drag it further, and I can see the message, right? That's not the more critical portion. For this case is worse. So if you go and click the very first one, the first line, right? Very first line of the connect command, and then if you scroll down, I make it bigger so that you can see, right? And then you can see that is a user. Is user, the username is user, password is my password. So the username and password is linked. So Kali, by knowing the username and the password, the next thing is obviously can hack in already because it has the username and password. So Kali, we can close this part. Close. So say I cannot send without username and password, just like publisher, right? But then now I have a username and password. Now I can hack in, right? So I can do this. This is what I'm going to do. And then, so if I run this command over here, check that this is by Kali. Send by Kali. You see my mouse here? Send by Kali. Okay. So then, change the IP address. 192.168.56.11. Okay, make sure that the spacing is correct. See, it's always wrong, so double check on the spacing. Press enter. It went through. Okay, and then now subscriber also receive. So it's useless. Username and password. I will not say it's 100% useless, but it's quite useless because at the end of the day, Kali can hack it. Okay, so that's one of the key portion of this part 3. Okay, next we shall move to part 4. Okay, we shall move to part 4 now. Let's move to part 4. Okay, we're going to add a TLS layer for the part 4. Okay, so next thing is we don't need to have a few program. We need a thing called generate CA. So let's go back to your we call it the broker first. Then we need to go down to CD. We need to go on CP downloads. Okay, then scripts. Okay, scripts as. Okay, and then generate this thing. We want to copy out to the main directory. So CP is copy and all these things, and press a dot there towards the end. Something similar to this, but then we put it in a different directory. So generate CA. So press enter. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to do change mode U plus X because it is not executable. Let's show you . ls minus l. So this is not executable. See, there's no executable in the user, so we're going to executable. Copy, paste. Okay, now ls minus turns green, so it becomes executable, right? Then we need to generate certificate, because the first most important thing is to generate certificate, okay, for the security portion. Okay, generate certificate. Aha, good, certificate generated. Next thing, let's we need to copy the certificate over. So let's take a look what certificate I have. ls minus, okay, so I have my own host certificate, which is this 3, and CA certificate, which is this 2. We need to send this CA CRT to both the publisher and the subscriber, right? So not everybody has it. It's a special file, right? So we're going to copy the just give me a minute. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, somehow or other. So we're going to copy this one. Okay, we're going to copy to 12 and 13 and send to them. Okay, 12, make sure that the IP address is correct. 192.168.56.12. It's no longer Pi, it's Cisco and Cisco. Okay, for yours, you may appear one more line ask you want to accept the fingerprint, or you just say yes. Okay, if there's a fingerprinting, you just say yes, type yes, enter, then this password thing will come in. Okay, because mine is not the first time doing this thing, so the yes thing gone missing. So never mind, there's 12 and then 13. Okay, so password. Then if it asks you for the fingerprint, you just say yes and then continue from there. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the next part. Okay, so we're going to create this file. This file, again, I have provided you this file inside the announcement. Okay, so next thing is the what you call it, this TLS configuration. So let's create this TLS configuration file. Okay, run it, and then copy this following portion here until here, right? All the keys and whatever, paste. Okay, okay, good. So then we Control O, save, Control X, escape. Okay, so it's done. So let's try to run it after that. But remember, just same as the earlier on, we need to go and look at the process. So we're going to look at the process and kill the existing process first. Okay, there's an existing process. What's the existing process? 1254. So sudo kill 1254. Okay, check next step minus TULNT. Okay, is it there? Okay, no longer there. There's no 001883. Okay, good. Okay, so good. So next thing is let's try to run it. You know that it might fail to run, but then it's okay. Let's try to run it now. Okay, so how to run it? You just copy the earlier one and just convert the last portion of the thing into TLS. Okay, so let's run this. Copy, paste, and underscore tls.conf, and then the end sign. Okay, enter. Okay, then double check on NetStack and check whether it's running. Okay, it's running. Okay, good. That's a good thing. Okay, because then you don't need to do anything, right? Because it's the correct one, right? So next, we need to go to the portion here. The client is connected, but then nothing. It's wrong. It doesn't look like that anymore, right? It's error. So it doesn't give you an error message like just now. What it is, it gave an error message like this. Okay, so let's cancel this. If you don't believe me, you just run this thing again. Yeah. We run it the way it is with the proper username and password first. Right, copy. Right, like this, then we just, obviously the first one will not go through lah, right? Okay. You just like that, right? Because you have username and password, but you don't have cert, so it doesn't have the error message that it is. I just show you that. Of course, if you run the very first one, it will be like that, exactly the same. So it will not give you the kind of error message as per error message, but it's like that. Okay. Okay. So that's a subscriber, publisher. I don't need to show you lah, because this is one. Okay, because I don't have anything. So never mind. We just send. Right. Connection is lost. So error. No authentication, so you cannot, right? Don't have username, don't have certificate. You got username, password, it will not go through, right? It cannot go through. Okay, so good. Let's try to do it with the certificate, but then if for this part, it need to be special. Let's do the sub, which is different from lab sheet. Because of version 2, you need to do it this way. Okay, this is the one that have the subscriber, copy, right? Then paste. Press enter. Okay, so you get connected. That's very good, right? Get connection. This is the correct one. You start subscribing already. Okay, then you receive, so it's good. Then the publisher, we just need to copy this part, right? And paste. Okay, so it went through, right? And then, so this is this part, So can we see this on, come back to here, the Kali, what would Kali actually see, right? We run the same command, press space bar and start visualization. Now we go back to the lab sheet, right? It says, let's try to send another one more message again, right? Then we want to use the cert again, publisher. Go to publisher, right click, paste. Okay, but make sure that all the thing is correct lah. Because we want to capture this thing to Kali and see whether we actually can capture and hack it. So, but first of all, we need to make sure that everything is correct. So IP address 192.168.56.11. Okay. Then the CA one must be correct. Need to look like that. Okay. End of the day, press enter. Okay. Connection refused. Let's see where is the issue. Let's take a look. What's the issue? Is this the same thing sent over at TLS? Okay. Because you don't have this minus port 1883. So you need to put in. So this message and just now the message actually is identical. So you need to put in the P113 as best. Okay. So it's sent through. It's sent through. Okay. So what happened? So over here is you see gibberish lah, but then what did we use just now? We use still simple pcap lah, by right it's supposed to be TLS. Okay, so never mind. So we just quit. Okay. Then we do Wireshark again and take a look. Wireshark again, and then we go and apply MQTT. And this round you only see 2 message. Let's make it bigger for this part. 2 message. Okay. A bit slow. The resolution. Okay. And yeah, this is the part on the TLS one. 2 message only, right? Instead of 4, right? Then you can see, you cannot see you only see is a malformed packet because sniffer can no longer hack it. Okay, so that's the key portion. Once you have proper encryption, you only know it is an MQTT packet, but you will not be able to read whatever is inside. It's gibberish already. So because it's gibberish, the hacker cannot hack it. Okay, so that is the protection because it's just all gibberish. See, all gibberish, right? So this is the key portion for the security, and that's all for the lab itself. Can? Good, huh? Okay, thank you very much. I will see you next time. Bye bye.